Now you all agree that every country carries out a military personnel, right? Now why does every country have a military? It is for the purpose of protection of each and every citizen in that country. Now that is why each and every one in the military is performing their duties to safeguard all the citizens. Now as citizens, I'll ask you a question. How would you feel if our military people fail to do their duty? If they find a terrorist and they fail to take a shot because they feel that it is also after all a human being and I should not harm another human soul. If they fail to do their duty, what would be the price that we have to pay as citizens of a nation? That is the same thing that Arjuna is doing on the battlefield. He is not realizing that by him taking a back step, the consequences it is going to have on the people of the kingdom as a whole. If he fails to fight this war, the soldiers are going to also take a back step. And when the soldiers take a back step, the ultimate sufferers of that very war would be the citizens or the residents of that particular kingdom. Now Krishna is very smart at understanding this. And that is why in this verse or in this chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, there is an interesting story that we many tend to miss out on. Now when Krishna places the chariot between both the armies, he smartly places the chariot only before Bhishma and Drona, which is Arjuna's teacher and grandfather. Now if Krishna had placed the chariot in front of Duryodhana, 100% of the time Arjuna would have taken the sword or his arrow and gone for a fight. But because there is that emotional blackmail that he has by facing his grandfather and his teacher, he has a sense of confusion. Now, would it be wrong by fighting my own grandfather or my teacher? This gives a lot of confusion in his mind. And as we have seen in the first chapter, confusion is the first step towards clarity. And that is what Krishna is trying to do by placing the chariot between them. Now, there are a lot of articles, a lot of videos, and a lot of people have spoken about the fact that Bhagavad Gita promotes violence. Krishna instigates Arjuna and emotionally blackmails him to take part in this war. So if that is the general consensus, then would you say that military for a country is negative? That carrying out military operations in a country is negative? Well, here's where the Bhagavad Gita differs from the general opinion. Krishna doesn't say everybody has to take a knife or a gun or an arrow and go for a fight, but Krishna is saying that to Arjuna because Arjuna's duty is that of a warrior. If your duty is that of a teacher, you have to be steadfastly devoted towards the profession of teaching. That is what Krishna is saying. It is not the literal meaning of if you have to fight, you have to fight. It is if you have to teach, you have to teach. If you have to work, you have to work. And since Arjuna is a warrior, if you have to fight, you have to fight, and there is no second option towards it. Now, in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is trying to make Arjuna understand the importance of his duty, because if he performs his duty without Arjuna himself knowing, there would be a large amount of people that would have a better future in the kingdom hereon. Here Krishna says a very important point. Whether be it a warrior, be it a teacher, or whatever your profession is, there is going to be a day where you have or come into a dilemma of right or wrong. Now when you come into such a dilemma, Krishna says not to fall into the trap of sentimentality or emotional or mental weakness, but to have a single one-pointed mindness and work for the righteous cause. And in case of Arjuna, the righteous cause is to fight that particular war. And as I've mentioned throughout this video, it is for each and every one of us to find our own individual purpose, just like what Arjuna's purpose on the battlefield was. Now don't you forget, guys, it will always lead the way, and all you have to do is free your mind. And that's a wrap for this particular episode. And as always, thank you for watching.